Alright, so guys, it's Wednesday, and if you guys have not checked out the new video that I have on my channel about how the Fangs earnings season basically ruined or saved the entire stock market, you can check it out in my channel. I would probably be linking it somewhere in the corner somewhere here. So yeah, you'll go check that out. But anyway, let's go some news today. All right. Yesterday the market was kind of boring. However, we did have some interesting earnings, but I will just get the news out of the way first. So let's see. SoftBank pitches IPO for ARM after the deal with Nvidia falls through. So yeah, looks like SoftBank is going to just bring ARM for IPO, which honestly speaking, I think that that's not exactly the best thing right now, especially in this current uncertain market. IPO, I don't think would be necessarily be the best thing to do right now. I don't think people are very excited to put money into a new IPO. People are still uncertain to even put into companies that are not earning money. So it's very rare for people to want to put money into an IPO, especially for a low profile company like ARM. But I wouldn't call them low profile either. I won't call them high profile either. So yeah. Personally, I just don't think that it's a good time for ARM to go IPO at this period of time. But we'll see what SoftBank actually do. All right, how much is Trump's new social media company worth? Traders can't decide. So for people who are unaware, this is we're talking about DWAC, which is the Digital Acquisition World. Yeah, Digital World Acquisition Corp. Okay, hey, I got 3 out of 4. Okay, but DWAC, it has been like going whack. Let's see. Let's see what is DWAC doing at the moment. DWAC is currently at about $84 or so. That's pretty good. I saw DWAC go to about $90 yesterday, and then kind of just trended downwards. For people who are unaware, DWAC actually went all the way up to like almost $200. Sort of like this momentum stock. So a lot of people kind of like buy into DWAC, sell DWAC, buy it, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. It's a very good trading stock. And I can see why this is the title of the entire article. Traders can't decide the price for the social media company under Trump. Of course, right now, there are some people who actually play into this whole DWAC situation where they want to short Biden. So, for you to short Biden, you just buy DWAC. That way you can actually hope for the fact that Donald Trump will run again, and then if the president of the United States have his own social media platform, ultimately that would sound like incredible. So a lot of people are kind of sort of long on the fact that if I do not want Biden, I will go on DWAC, that sort of thing. But of course, I'm not very sure about this, and it seems very dodgy for me, to say the least. But yeah, right now, people are just confused about like whether or not they want to really get into this stock at the moment. So let's see. The current price implies the valuation of several $billion for Mr. Trump's startup. A remarkable figure considering little is known about the company other than its plan to launch its new social media platform called the Truth Social and capitalize on his following. The company has $1 billion in commitments from investors as part of the SPAC deal that the California Republican Devin Nunes was leaving the House of Representatives to become the company's chief exec. Warrants. Oh yeah, okay. They did talk about the warrants about this. Okay, so while shares and option allow the holder to buy more shares at a specific price, the futures warrants tied DWAC have lagged behind, baffling some traders who argue that they are mispriced relative to the stock, who expected the gap to close. So because how it works is that there is a DWAC, which is the warrant side of things. So yeah, warrants are kind of similar to your options. But yeah, okay. So basically, they say okay, it's just for the specs side of things, and yeah, they can be exercised after the company spec closes. Warrants typically have a strike price of $11.50, meaning the holder would pay $11.50 to receive a share of the company because usually specs are at $10. So usually, if you were to buy a warrant, you're kind of just assured to get in at $11.50, kind of like a slightly higher premium than on the initial investors who actually got in on the previous spec itself. So that's kind of how it is. But the warrants are currently trading at $27 compared to the stock at $80. So some analysts say that they are undervalued before, because assuming the deal closes the stock price roughly where it is now, warrant holders would pay $11.50 per share and would immediately sell at the market price of several times that. So yeah, but the thing is that I don't think it's that easy for you to actually exercise on the warrant, and you really need to get the price stability down before you actually can exercise the warrant as well. So yeah, some people are saying that the warrant should be roughly traded at the stock price minus $11.50 or in the high 60s instead of the high 20s. Fair enough, but I think at the same time, a lot of people are unaware of how warrants actually work. So I think after this article, there is a good chance that DWAC's warrant might actually raise up in price. But I'll check that during market open again. So yeah, interesting stuff. Chipotle, CEO says another price increase likely as cost grows. So Chipotle actually announced their earnings yesterday. I did not really join the earnings call for Chipotle because I wasn't really interested in it. But Chipotle actually beat on several metrics. But the bad thing about it is I think the guidance was slightly lower than expected. So they reported the EPS of 558, adjusting for the one-time items exceeding analyst expectation of 525. The chain reported a net income of $133.5 million, down $191 million a year earlier. The chain total sales were $2 billion above expectation, like I said, beat on earnings as well. And then it went up. Yeah, okay. Let's see, where do we have the forecast? Okay, I just don't see the inflation, unfortunately, going away anytime soon. Okay, so usually when you see this kind of sentencing by a company during the forecast or the outlook of the following quarter, it simply means that either prices are going to increase, stagflation is going to happen. Prices are going to increase, shrinkflation is going to happen, or earnings are not going to be as good. Either way, it's going to be one of those trees. And yeah, so he just chuckled about the comments made earlier in the pandemic about cost increase being short term. It sure doesn't look transitory to me. Kind of like a jab to Jerome Powell, probably. But yeah, even like your Starbucks, McDonald's, all of them, yeah. They have all increased prices as cost has grown and expect inflation to continue to be a concern this year. Like I said before, and I've been talking about it for quite some time as well. Inflation is going to be a pressing issue for this year. Even Jerome Powell himself has said that you do see this going into 2023 as well. Inflation is not going to be so transitory for quite some time. Okay. Chipotle raised price on its meals last year, saying it was particularly to help cover the cost of wage increase for hourly workers. The chain has also increased prices on food ordered through food delivery apps compared to with its in-store costs. Let's see. Oh, okay. There will be newer locations outside city centers delivering robust sales. Not there will be. Those are the newer locations. Okay. To boost its guidance for overall. Okay, I didn't check this part of the guidance. I expected to have 7,000 Chipotle restaurants in NA over time, up to. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Surprisingly, that's pretty good. It's just that they are just talking about. But this is just talking about the branches in general, so I'm not sure how would that actually work out. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that, like I said before, if they're still talking about inflation, price increase, like I said, price increase is definitely going to be happening in the near future. Right, Lyft has is also one of the company that actually reported their earnings yesterday, which their revenue actually went up. And it's funny because the thing is that the riders actually went down, which means that there is a very, very steep price increase, clearly, because revenue jumped 70% as higher fares offset fewer riders. Okay, so over here you can see that in the fourth quarter, we went up by 70% on ride because, we get longer trips and higher fares. That's the wrong one. Okay, yeah. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that they did talk about the higher prices and also forecasts. Like I said in my video for FANG, people are going to worry about the forecast a lot more. So that's going to be a huge concern for a lot of people. So that's something you probably have to really look out for as well. Adjusted EBITDA for the 3 months through March for as much as $15 million compared to, with an adjusted loss before items of $73 million in the year earlier quarter. Okay. Ultimately, given the expected impact of Omicron on quarter one and the unknown shape of the recovery, which could carry into quarter two, our near-term revenue growth acceleration will likely be affected. Like I said, so our near-term revenue growth acceleration will likely be affected. This basically just means the next few quarters, do not expect this sort of jump in revenue. We might see some sort of constant basis on the revenue where there won't be a huge increase nor a huge decrease. But yeah, don't expect growth acceleration to be happening in the near future, sort of kind of thing. All right, Peloton also reported their earnings yesterday, but they reported, I think it was in the market open. No, they actually reported before market open, which was quite crazy because they reported a lot of things. First of all, they've reported cutting 2,800 jobs. They're going to be changing their CEO, which, John Foley is not going to be the CEO. It's going to be taken over by Barry McCarthy, which is the former CFO of Spotify and Netflix. So yeah, he will be the CEO president to join Peloton's board. The cuts won. Okay, so yeah, lowered its revenue forecast and said it will cut roughly 20% of its corporate position to help cope with widening loss. The cut wouldn't affect Peloton's instructor roster or content. So you see, the thing is that it's kind of weird for Peloton. We see company lowered its revenue forecast. Okay, we know that this is so-called the red flags, especially in the investing side of things, but they're still up 25%. Okay, mind you, this actually happened yesterday's pre-market. So this price increase is actually reflected after the market knew about this entire earnings report. And they were still up 25%. Right now, they're still up about another additional 3% in the pre-market right now. So yeah, do understand that, people are actually still very, very happy about Peloton, especially due to the fact that they did talk about a new CEO, which means that there would most likely be a change of operations in the entire company as well. Of course, with the cutting of jobs and also the lessening of the revenue forecast, there will definitely be the bin in the entire report. With his new CEO and also a possibility of getting an acquisition on the way, investors are kind of just speculating on the fact that, all right, it's cheap enough for us to really get in on the stock, just get in, just in case we actually get a good get an acquisition, we get paid off immediately after. If we don't get an acquisition and the price actually goes down, we can actually bet on the fact that the new CEO can actually do something and actually change the operations. Maybe that way we can actually see Peloton go back up again. That's kind of the whole speculation behind the trading mindset for all the traders out there, personally speaking. Peloton rose 25% to close Tuesday after the company confirmed that the leadership moves and other changes. I think that's basically it for Peloton. Personally, like I said before, I own Peloton stocks and I buy Peloton puts. And I'm going to buy more puts as well because I think that this acquisition deal is not going to be happening. I don't see it happening. I don't think it's happening. Especially with a change of CEO and president, it almost doesn't make sense for you to actually do an acquisition deal. I would much rather see Peloton be that stock that actually get better in the future. So yeah. All right, sorry because of that phone call. Okay, but anyway, Peloton, I think that that's kind of it for how it's gonna be. I think that Peloton would definitely be a good company in the future, and I don't see them really selling out to Amazon or Nike or Adidas or Lululemon or Berkshire or even Google, things of that nature. So yeah, I mean Peloton's gonna be interesting. All right. All right, this is the last one actually that I really want to talk about, which is the judge grants bail to crypto couple for the $4.5 billion hack. Because the New York judge. Okay, so for people who are unaware of the situation, apparently in 2016, when Bitfinex got hacked, it was this couple that hacked into the Bitfinex. They took away, I think it was $76 million worth of Bitcoin at that time. And Bitfinex had to like kind of repay the $76 million for a long period of time. And the people who actually stole the all the Bitcoin back then is now worth $4.5 billion. So yeah, right now, they're just going through the whole bailing process for it. But yeah, I think this is still a progressing story. So I'll actually have to really read more into this before I actually talk more about it. And finally, okay, I'm just gonna end it on this because I need to go for my dinner soon. Biden breaking his silence on Tesla by touting US manufacturing. Okay, so for people who are unaware, Biden has always been this anti-Tesla because he has never uttered the word Tesla in front of the press before, in the public before, and he has always been pro GM and pro Ford, which is why over here he said talks about from iconic companies like GM and Ford building out new electric vehicles production to Tesla, our nation's largest electric vehicle manufacturer. Okay, and this kind of like a jab because a lot of people keep on telling Biden, why are you not talking about Tesla? Why are you not talking about Tesla? Tesla is literally the biggest electric vehicle company in US, and you're not talking about Tesla, and you go and talk about GM. Like, come on. So yeah. And then innovative younger companies like Rivian building electric trucks or Proterra building electric buses, which I think it was kind of weird for them to actually put that into the mix as well. But yeah, the comment came just a week after Tesla founder Elon Musk criticized the president online for repeatedly snubbing his company. Like I said before, because it doesn't make sense for them to just not talk about Tesla. But yeah, we all know that Tesla is a major producer of electric vehicles. Jen Psaki said, certainly the electric vehicle industry is one that we feel is a huge opportunity for US to move towards our clean energy goals and objective. A range of automobiles maker are a part of that effort. So yeah, not really much of a news. Kind of just finally Biden wants to acknowledge Tesla to a certain extent. But then, okay, that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. And again, if you guys have not watched the FANG earnings video, it's going to be somewhere. Okay, but thank you guys for watching.